Every criminal thinks they are smooth, but they eventually slip.
Do you remember how many times you tried to reach out for your refund?
It was at least 3 or 4 through email and then through social media, maybe twice on Facebook, and I got blocked. And then Instagram, once recently, maybe like a month ago, I did it again. And I had 2 different accounts. I had an older account that I used a couple years ago, and I did it through there. And he blocked me on that one too. So he would delete my comments, or he would just block me, and I wouldn't have access to his profile.
Now, were you able to either reach out to your bank or your credit card company or the BBB?
So I did make a report on Better Business Bureau, and then I also reached out to my bank. And like you said before, when it's so far scheduled in advance, they're like, okay, we can look up to these amount of days. And they gave me like a temporary refund, but they said we've reached out to him multiple times. He hasn't replied. He's ignored us. And they took that money back. That temporary refund was taken back.
Let us get up. Let us speak up. Oh, so we can be heard. Oh, so we can be heard.
3, 2, 1.
Disclaimer: all topics in this video are alleged and allegedly, and they are strictly for entertainment purposes only.
Let's do it. Dom, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Long way home, the intro. I love it.
Let's do it.
Chopping it up with you like veggies in a food processor for Thanksgiving dressing.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, we better be ready with that introduction.
Yeah, that was great. Jay's on point. Y'all interviews better be on point because Jay know what he's doing.
Take note.
Jay, everybody do watch you. When you doing your post about me, great job.
If you are not one of my apple pies, those are my subscribers. You better go ahead and subscribe. It's a billion, jillion, kajillion people here on YouTube, baby. You might not come across me again. Set your notifications to all. That way you'll get alerts when I upload a new video. Feel free to like, comment below, and share. Be sure to follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Click in this video descriptions. The links are at the bottom. Or click on my channel tabs. At the About tab, click the links below. Now, let's talk about it. As of the publishing date listed on this video, Darius Williams, also professionally known as Darius Cooks, has not been charged or convicted of any crimes. All participants in this docuseries have willingly agreed to participate and share their story, as well as answer questions pertaining to Darius Cooks Williams. All allegations are alleged. On the previous episode, we got to hear about Nisha's story in the Defective cake. If you missed it, click in that description or click on the playlist. Now we get to meet Alicia and hear her story about never receiving a refund for the Dining with Darius event.
We are ready. We are rolling and we are recording. Hey, it's me, Jay Evans, with my special guest today that's helping me with this documentary. Alicia, thank you for joining me. And she is actually a customer of Mr. Cooks. So I'll start off with this question that everybody's being asked. When I say the name Darius Cooks, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Scammer. Just scammer.
Now, do you think Darius is going to have a fall from grace?
I don't know. The, the things that he's been doing, it's just been a lot. So you, you never know. I don't know.
Okay. Now, what would you say to Darius if he's watching this or if he's looking at this?
That I just wanted a refund or to have something that was rescheduled. Just communication. That's it.
You purchased a ticket to one of his food events that was canceled, right?
I purchased two. Hmm.
You purchased two. Now, do you mind if
Hmm.
I ask you how much they were?
Back in 2020, 175 each, I believe it was.
Okay. So 175. Now, did you remember like if you might have purchased it in advance? Because the thing that he's doing now, he has tickets for events for 2023. And what he'll
Hmm.
do is charge in advance. So if
Yes.
you try to dispute it because it's so far out, either your bank or your credit card company is like, this is like almost a year later. Did you
Yep.
purchase yours in advance?
I purchased mine, I believe, like October, September 2019 for an event that was June 2020.
Did you want to go to the event? Because that's like $350, which to some people it might not be a lot, but to other people, that's a lot of money. So if you're taking your hard-earned money and going to this event, what was it about him that made you want to go?
Well, first he had his new restaurant that was in Chicago. It opened up in Chicago, and I had gone previously with my friend who actually was supposed to go to the event with, because we go out to restaurants. We're kind of like foodies. We try different things. So we went to his restaurant. We got a couple Groupons actually, and when he announced that the tour was happening and there was going to be one in Chicago, we were like, yes, let's go to that. So that's what really made us actually want to go. And it was actually during my birthday month, which was even better. So it would have been like a birthday event for me.
How was your experience at his restaurant? Like, was the food good? The good customer service?
The food was good. Customer service could have been better. I know one of the times that we went, he was actually in there. I don't know what he was doing behind the counter, but he really wasn't like communicating with anybody. Um, but the service was okay. The food was really good.
Now, before you purchased your tickets, had you heard any like complaints from people that might have sent off a red flag to you?
Nope. I think this was like the beginning of me actually hearing about him, which made me interested. And I had just started following him on Instagram too. So I hadn't heard anything at that point.
Did you consider yourself like a fan or a part of his beehive then when you start following him?
No, I do not. I'm Rihanna Navy, if that's the case, but no, for him, no, absolutely not. Not for the people that are going hard for him right now, not to that extent at all.
Okay, come through, Rihanna Navy. Now, I like reading you too. Now, a lot of people that are supporters of his, they will say they went to the events, it wasn't canceled, or they ordered things, and that people are saying this, they're just being haters or they're just trying to plot against him. I look at it like that hasn't happened to them. So it's easy to say, well, I got my order, I went to the event. What would you say to them if they say, Alicia, you just hating on him or you're just trying to bring this black man down?
First, absolutely untrue. Just because I support everybody, I was one of his customers before, and I went back, and I actually went back to his restaurant twice, and I even purchased some of his items, um, and I just didn't receive them. So for people to say that, and I've had to explain this to people on Facebook, and they were like, "Well, he didn't do anything to you. Like, what did he do to you? I think you're lying." And not that I have to explain anything to anybody, but I went ahead and was like, this is what happened. They were like, oh, well, that's legitimate. What do you mean? There's a lot of legitimate reasons that he's doing what he's doing to different people. It's not going to all be the same. That's just how it works. So it's not a hate. It's just just be a businessman. That's it.
1, 2, 3, the devil's after me. 4, 5, 6, he's always throwing bricks. 7, 8, he misses every time. Hallelujah, I'm free.
Darius, because I purchased it September, October 2019. And that was when pandemic started, like 3, 4 months later. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And he even said, like, oh, it's going to be canceled. I'll email you when it's rescheduled. If you want to receive a refund, you can get one, or you can hold it until like the next event. And I told him to hold it until the next event, which never happened. He just started scheduling new events in place of that, and didn't reply back to any emails when I was inquiring about it.
Do you remember how many times you tried to reach out for your refund?
It was at least 3 or 4 through email, and then through social media, maybe twice on Facebook, and I got blocked. And then Instagram, once recently, maybe like a month ago, I did it again. And I had 2 different accounts. I had an older account that I used a couple years ago, and I did it through there. And he blocked me on that one too. So he would delete my comments, or he would just block me, and I wouldn't have access to his profile.
Now, were you able to either reach out to your bank or your credit card company or the BBB?
So I did make a report on Better Business Bureau, and then I also reached out to my bank. And like you said before, when it's so far scheduled in advance, they're like, okay, we can look up to these amount of days. And they gave me like a temporary refund, but they said we've reached out to him multiple times. He hasn't replied. He's ignored us. And they took that money back. That temporary refund was taken back.
So you're out of $350. You didn't get your event. He's blocked you because he'll go live, right? And he'll now, because people are being so outspoken, he'll try to slide in things on his live, but you have no other way of contacting him now.
Nope. And I do even remember before I got blocked recently, I went on his live from the old account, and I put something in his live, and I screen recorded it just because he likes to, like you said, answer stuff on the fly. So I put it in on his live, and he said, email me. And that's all he said. If you have a question, email me. That's it.
So when people say they email, they say it's no response. I was looking at other people that said they got like a auto reply or a reply that had nothing to do with what they're saying.
Yep. It was one auto reply was, I don't have service right now. I'm out of the country. I'll return your email in 3 to however many business days, and came and went.
Now, if he was to try to make the situation right, refund you your $350, because that's a lot of money, especially now with everywhere the prices of gas, $100 to fill up your tanks, $100 if you want a pack of steak. It's just crazy. So if he said to you, Alicia, I'll refund your money and make it right, would you be willing to try another one of his events?
Nope. Not at all.
Why do you think people do not take this serious? Like,
because it's not happening to them. And it's a form of victim blaming, saying, oh, it didn't happen to me, so it couldn't have happened to you. What do you mean? That's the same thing as if there is a predator in your family who did something to you, and anyone who hasn't experienced that, they're like, no, it's like sweeping it under the rug. It didn't happen to them, so it couldn't have happened to anybody else.
now, a large majority of his fan base are women that really like him, love him, and support him. Do you think if these customers were white women, this would still be occurring?
Absolutely not. When a white woman calls out for help, people help them. But of course, there are some Black women who take other black women down for the joy of it, or they think because he's being petty or doxing people, that it's appropriate to laugh at that. But absolutely not. If a white woman was being targeted, something would have happened already. But because the majority of his fan base is black women, people, I mean, protect black women. I mean, black women aren't even protecting one another. So I mean, it's just that culture right now. It absolutely wouldn't happen to white women at all.
Now, you said the part about like women against women. Do you think he's dividing black women? Because I see the side of the women that are for him, even though he's like a part of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
These women still like love him and think they can get with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sort of playing into the beef of it. Do you really think he's dividing women?
I don't think it's more so of a divide. I feel like he's just having fun. I feel like just playing with people and doing things that he know he's getting away with. I don't know if it's a divide of black women. It's just like I feel like more so a lot of the times I've seen like aunties. They're not younger black women. They're aunties who are into the cattiness or into the pettiness. And I don't think it's a divide. It's just like I don't even know what to call it. I don't think it would be a divide. It's just like just egging on the cattiness between different age groups even. For me, that's what I've seen.
Do you think they like the drama of it then?
Absolutely. I feel like when they hop on those lives and you sometimes see the comments of like the screen recordings, it's just like, ooh, here she go again. Ooh, what is Darius about to do? They are living for the drama. They just want to see what he's going to do. And he's said that multiple times that he lives for drama and he does it sometimes just to be entertained, which isn't cool. Not for a good businessman, honestly. That's not good.
Now, he has said many responses, like to the effect of every business has like complaints on the BBB, right? And I look at that situation because he brought up a few names like Walmart or Target, right? So I look at reviews for things that I order, but have you ever saw like any site that you order from display customers' information like he does? Like, is
Not
that professional to you?
not at all. Walmart, Target would the places he's mentioning would never do something like that because that's a violation. They would get in trouble. They're held to a certain standard. And obviously he's not because obviously if he's not BBB accredited, he's not even registered for what I'm seeing his businesses. That's a red flag in itself.
Have you ever had an experience with any cook or chef like this before?
Not at all. Not at all. And I don't know if I would even call him a cook. Well, he could be a cook, but a chef, I wouldn't even consider him a chef, honestly.
And they do refer to him as that. I don't think, from what I know, he's ever been a culinary school
Right.
or anything. Now they did say the restaurants that closed, like the one in Chicago, was closed after he had to do a settlement for $145,000 for a credit repair service. Did that surprise you that the restaurant closed there in Chicago?
It did. And I think that's actually around the time that I was just like, what's going on? Because I had literally had just gone and we were planning to go again as like a different group. And I couldn't even use the second Groupon that I had purchased. So I was like, that's kind of iffy. I don't know what's going on. And then all of these other things about him in Georgia came out, which was like, okay, something's wrong. Something was going on.
If you had to let people know one thing, like people that are not against him or for him, but they're kind of like trailing the fence and they might want to like either buy some cookware or they might want to go to an event, what would you tell them honestly? Because you're somebody that's experienced this.
Mm-hmm. I would tell them don't do it or be cautious if they're going to do it. And I feel like I've told this to multiple people because I've shared it on one of my Instagram stories multiple times of just him saying one thing and not doing it. And when he has told me to reply back to an email and I've sent an email and I get that automatic message sent back. So I would just tell them be cautious. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give him a cent of my money after this. But it's up to them. I always say you can make your own decisions, but I would not give him any more of my money at all.
Have you experienced like any doxing or anything since he blocked you or
Nope.
anything?
No.
Alicia, I want to thank you so much for joining me and answering these questions. Um, I'm sorry that happened because a lot of people $3 is money if it's your money that you work for, and $350 is a lot of money.
It is.
Anything else you would like to say to Mr. Cooks if he does see this and he's thinking maybe I need to do something different?
That if he really considers himself a businessman, he needs to act like one. He needs to portray one. He needs to, even he said, BBB comments for or complaints for bigger box stores. But those bigger box stores, they don't dox people. They don't go and be petty and talk about people and post kids online, pictures and different things like that, and put people in danger. They either call a manager or they settle it in a more appropriate way. So hopefully, if he sees this, he needs to figure it out. If he feels as though his following is dropping now, once everything comes out, it's going to be over with for him. So he just needs to do better if he wants to be a businessman for sure.
Well, that was the final word and a very wise word. Thank you again for joining me and sharing your story and getting it out there because so many people are not brave enough to speak up.
No problem. And thank you for having me too, Jay.
Let us get up. Let us speak up. Oh, so we can be heard. Oh, so we can be heard.
Wait a minute. Jay Evans does interviews too? Bam!
Donna, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. What was you talking about, a legend?
You.
Dawn Robertson, formerly of In Vogue and formerly of Lucy Pearl. Diva Dawn is solo and calling her own shots.
As Donnie.
You are a genius with your history here, Jay. You're giving me life right now today.
Matthew, that appeared on MTV's Catfish on one of the most iconic episodes when Chance walked over and pulled off his hair unit. Oh, you wrong for that.
It's Matthew, that's right, from the iconic Catfish episode on MTV. Matthew, what's up?
What's going on, Jay? How's everything going?
I'm good. I'm chopping it up with you like an onion in a food processor. And we gonna get caught up with you and you gonna help me do this today. About something really good, your album, Long Way Home, the intro. I love it.
Cassandra Lucas, formerly of Changing Faces, the group that brought you hits like Stroke You Up and Get Out. Cassandra is solo and doing it on her own now.
Okay.
You're a joy. Thank
Who could forget the epic episode of MTV Ghosted with the lovely Shannon and Shady? Come through, Shannon.
Time seeing him in months. I want to know because you were just like, you know how like it's Christmas and you don't think your parents got you a gift because they can't afford their mortgage, but they get you a gift and you were looking like, what you thinking? That's what I want to know.
Because like I said, like we really hadn't had contact because they really.
That's right. I can interview and host. Click in those descriptions. You'll get links to my videos. Go to that playlist. It's put in order for you, baby. The folder is there. Go through the videos. Get caught up, baby. Jay Evans. I can interview. I can host. I do review and recaps, baby. I give you commentary. I, bam, can blow it on up. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Let's roll. Let's do it. Let's move. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it.